Diagnostic assessment of novice EFL learners' discourse competence in academic writing, a case study. Discourse competence is considered an essential component of communicative competence and central to the mastery of academic writing due to its significant contribution to coherence, cohesion, and overall flow of the text. Developing adequate discourse competence is quite challenging, especially for first-year English as a second or foreign language university students, as they have newly transitioned from the secondary to the tertiary level and have little knowledge of the academic genres required in university study. However, there are few attempts specifically focusing on discourse competence and still less research tracking the actual composing process to identify possible causes and factors for the textual problems observed. Diagnostic assessment, which involves precisely analyzing a problem and identifying its causes for effective treatment, provides meaningful guidance for the construction of instruments specifically designed to evaluate discourse-level features. In light of this, Dr. Yimin Wang from Hunan University and Dr. Chin Shei from the Education University of Hong Kong conducted a three-tiered diagnostic assessment to identify their weaknesses in writing and to investigate potential influencing factors. The researchers examined the textual features of the students' writing, composing strategies employed during the writing process, and the academic writing knowledge of the student writers. This study adopted a case study approach to investigate two mainland Chinese undergraduate students, Lucia and Wei, studying in an English as the medium of instruction university in Hong Kong. 3 instruments were employed: a discourse rubric, a writer log, and a set of semi-structured interview questions. Altogether, 6 essays were collected from these 2 participants, along with the subject teacher's grading results. Each essay was double-coded using the rubric assessing 5 components of discourse competence in 10 textual features at 5 levels. Additionally, a total of 17 writer log entries and each participant's 4 times interview data were collected to understand the participants' composing processes. This study found that global coherence was a shared and often persistent problem that novice EFL learners displayed. In both cases, there was a lack of adequate reader orientation in the opening paragraph and a lack of an appropriate conclusion at the end. They also had problems in connecting and organizing the contents coherently. Regarding processing strategies, the researchers found that both writers were deadline fighters whose first draft was also the final one. One of Wei's essays was written for her disciplinary course in the 3rd semester. From receiving the assignment topic to the submission date, Wei had about 70 days to prepare. However, it was only in the last 3 days before the due date that she began writing an introduction. She completed her 2,200-word essay in 9 hours on the due date without leaving time for adequate proofreading or revision. One reason may be that students lacked revision knowledge and skills, particularly regarding the revision of structural features. For example, the analysis of Wei's writing logs revealed that although she had planned to include a conclusion in her outline, she ultimately decided not to write one, as she considered the conclusion to be a dispensable element of the essay. Another reason for the lack of revision may be related to lack of time. Regarding writers' academic writing knowledge status, this study found that both cases had limited knowledge of the disciplinary content and the required genre type and lacked adequate writing strategies. For instance, disciplinary knowledge seemed to pose a special challenge in Wei's essay writing, especially regarding topic building. Wei did not decide on her focus until 7 days before the due date, she said, because only after she had completed all the lectures could she accumulate enough knowledge to think about writing the essay. Based on the findings, the researchers suggested that EAP writing teachers provide differentiated metacognitive instructions to students at different levels of discourse competence. Specifically, for those diagnosed as weaker in discourse features, teachers should conduct awareness-raising activities to build up their knowledge and strategies. For students at a basic level, providing a detailed checklist of common problems can help them avoid these issues during the writing process. Meanwhile, more proficient writers could be encouraged to learn more sophisticated discourse features and strategies. Such a differentiated and principled procedure could be useful for writing instruction, especially for novice EFL writers in an undergraduate academic learning context.